On Thursday, the Russians wanted to remind the world about their Oreshnik again and launched it towards Kiev. However, nothing happened. The missile, hyped up by Putin, exploded over Russian territory without causing any damage to the Ukrainian capital. Perhaps Putin wanted to strengthen his arguments with the instinctive fear of negotiations, the process of which will soon emerge from the shadows, but instead he hit himself. Judging by how the speed of his unit's advance has slowed down, where crutch detachments supplied with weapons by combat donkeys go to the fire department, the great victory is just around the corner. The Russian stormtroopers continue to crawl in the Pokrovskoye area and hobble in the Kursk region. But the Kremlin is not despondent and declares its readiness for negotiations, although it does not forget to remind about Zelensky's illegitimacy. Trump's special representative for Ukraine, Keith Kellogg, is preparing to present a plan to stop the war in Munich at a conference to be held from February 14 to 16, immediately after the Ramstein meeting, which will be chaired by Britain as the new European Center for Resistance to Russia. The Americans have begun to brutally grimace, making strange statements through Trump's mouth and then immediately disavowing them. And it is unclear whether Kellogg's words about the readiness to strengthen sanctions against Moscow can be trusted if Trump disbands the commission investigating the activities of Putin's sanctioned oligarchs. Because Trump says one thing, his entourage denies it, and then his actions contradict everything that was previously stated. On Thursday, the State Department, trying to please its boss, issued a statement that American ships will no longer pay duties when passing through the Panama Canal. However, the Canal Authority immediately denied this, which put Washington in an awkward position. Then Trump went wild, improvising on the topic of the Middle Eastern Riviera, perplexing the Arab world, which immediately declared that the displacement of 2 million Gazans was contrary to conventions and treaties. The Americans had to crawl away again, pretending that their leader had been misunderstood again. In order not to diminish the impression, Trump imposed sanctions on the International Criminal Court for the persecution of the United States and its allies, meaning Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu. Financial and visa sanctions are being imposed on those involved in the investigations. As Speaker of the House of Representatives, Johnson stated, "No supranational structure can have the right to dictate its rules to a sovereign state. This is the basis of the very concept of sovereignty. That is, we play here, and we don't play there." And then today they took aim at Netanyahu, but forgot that he is our son of a gun. So we will remind you who is the boss. But on the domestic American front, Trump has only victories. He has a stranglehold on the deep state, firing 97% of USAID's staff. USAID and foreign aid programs have already been suspended, and the agency has effectively been taken over by the State Department. But Trump has new plans, and he won't be deterred by the public outcry that is already growing across the country. He must break America completely. And while Trump is breaking the United States, Russian bots, which became active during the election period in Germany, are gaining strength on Elon Musk's X social network. According to the German Foreign Ministry, the Kremlin is using fake news sites, sleeping accounts and content generated by artificial intelligence to spread false narratives and undermine trust in Western institutions. German authorities have identified more than 100 pseudo-news sites that have been quietly accumulating content for several months. Putin is waging a real war along with a hybrid one, and he is doing a more convincing job on the information front. But on the regular front, the body count is impressive. It is unclear what kind of deal Trump, a mid-level businessman recruited by the KGB, can make with the neo-Bolshevik Putin. According to Zelensky, Trump has no plan at all. What is in certain publications? "I am sure that this is not the official plan of President Trump," Zelensky said. "But we can't discount the European countries, which won't allow a crazy American to remake the continent to suit the whims of a Russian KGB dictator. Even if he has some damning dirt on this American and is his shadow boss." Wall Street Journal writes that Ukraine needs 10 times more troops to stop the Russians. In fact, it needs to get back its nuclear weapons, because only they will stop the one who gives the orders from the Kremlin. Either Ukraine wins and throws the aggressor out of all its territories, returning its nuclear status, or Putin will slowly drench it in blood, in a slow and steady mode. Perhaps the EU countries will get tired of this eternal maniac day, and will come to Ukraine's aid in its liberation, because it is always better to fight on foreign soil than on your own. The Ukrainian armed forces have broken through the defenses in the Kursk region and advanced up to 5 kilometers into Russian territory, and this is more pleasant than fighting off zombie attacks near Pokrovsk. Now everyone is waiting to see what plan for ending